everybody, and welcome to this year's clojureD. My name is Ingo, and I will guide you through the conference opening. First of all, I'd like to introduce the clojureD team, this year's team, and the people behind clojureD. Advisory Board, Consulting and Voting, please clap your hands for this year's committee. Now, please welcome your hosts, which will guide you through the tracks today. Please welcome Andreas, Martin, Saskia, and Stefan. Communications, finances, and legal affairs, clojureD's management. We have to thank a lot of people, and first of all, the speakers, because no speakers, no talks, no conference. It's that simple. So for being here, for doing it, and for their overall commitment, please welcome this year's speakers. To keep the tickets low and the standards high, we need sponsors. Please clap your hands for Acrolinks, Circus CI, Job Sensei, Lambda-Werk, Nicholson, Pitch, Red Pineapple Media, Zimpler, and Doctronic. The donators. Your donations allowed us to give away tickets to underrepresented groups. So please clap your hands for the community, which means for you, for making it possible. First closure code today. clojureD is a non-profit conference driven solely by the community. Speakers, sponsors, you, the clojureD team are all members of this community. And thanks to the effort and unbroken support of the community, I'm really happy to announce our 5th anniversary today. Emojis. Emojis are language independent. I don't know the correct word for Geburtstagskuchen in your native language, but I'm sure it came to your mind the moment the cake emoji showed up. And that's good, because translating one language to another is tricky due to false friends, technical terms, and sayings. And if English isn't your first language, you do translate all the time while reading or writing source code. So can this auto-translating feature of emojis help us to create better source code? So yes, I ask, what do you think of using emojis in code? Well, the bad thing about the internet is that it tells you way too often that you aren't that smart. You're not the first one who came up with this marvelous idea. And same is true here. People already talked about it, for example, on Reddit. Of course, in the Emacs subreddit. And here are my favorite answers. Idiotic. I am shocked. You are a bad person. Why the fuck you do that? And my most favorite answer is, if I see emojis in your code, I'll kill you. So everybody seems to hate the idea, so it's fair enough to give it a try. So we need a REPL. This is a Clojure conference after all, so there has to be a REPL. I predefined some functions using emojis, which we can now give a try to. For example, you can cut a cake to get a piece of cake. And this is all very readable. Everybody understands this in his or her native language, without a single written word. You can fry a potato to get, well, fries. Ever ask yourself what a MacBook touch bar is good for? It's for using emojis in code. You can slaughter a unicorn to get a rainbow. So, next time you see a rainbow, tell your kids that a cute unicorn has just been slaughtered. You can slay a dragon to get a princess. You can chain and sacrifice the young maiden to call for King Kong. You can cut a cow into pieces to get raw meat and bad dreams. You can barbecue raw meat to get a burger. So what could that all be good for? I don't know. I just started to fiddle around a few minutes and already had quite some fun. So maybe a REPL emoji text adventure thingy may spawn out of this. But we can also use it for education. For example, to tell about basic functional programming principles. And this may look like this. A processing pipeline of a cow may look like this. And what is cooking? Cooking seems to be the functional composition of cutting and heating. So now we can cook. Let's cook a cow. There we have our burger. Let's process animals one by one by cooking. This is, by the way, not a meat industry commercial. What is a meal? A meal seems to be the reduction of ingredients. So let's reduce a tomato, a potato, and a chicken to get stew. Let's reduce some leafy green and a tomato to get a salad. And now let's add bread to get instead a sandwich. So this is very readable, and I think it shows basic functional programming principles. Now we add more love. So cute. Or the love of a man and another man resulting in death. Okay, that's strange. Okay, I got it. It's not a pure function, you know. The result of love between two men or two women hardly depends on your region settings. Depending on where on earth you are, depending on where on earth you are, the result could be horrible. This is a major bug we all need to fix. So we put in Germany here and try again. Okay, that's better. That's better and so educational. If you start falling in love with functional programming, it may lead you to Clojure. And if you start loving Clojure, you may find yourself visiting a Clojure user group. And the bold ones start the user group, and the crazy ones start a Clojure conference. And thankfully, this is a worldwide phenomenon. Nearby, we have Clojure conferences in London, Amsterdam, Helsinki, and, as rumors go, soon in Leuven. So, to protect clojureD, we will rebuild the Great Berlin Wall and make the Netherlands and Belgium pay for it. Or we do believe that on a global scale, and not only for conferences, cooperation is superior to competition. And I'd like to let the community know that most Clojure conferences tend to believe so. They do cooperate, they don't compete. And to make this more visible than usual, I'm really happy to welcome Vijay from the Dutch Closure Days.
Thanks a lot, Ingo, for giving this opportunity to explain what we're doing at Dutch Closure Day. How many people here know about Dutch Closure Day already? Wow, okay, then it's kind of preaching to the choir, I think. So we are doing this again this year. This is a fourth edition of Dutch Closure Day. It's a single-day, single-track, one-day conference. And as just like clojureD, it's for the community and by the community. And it is free to attend, so food and drinks and all that stuff and pretty much everything. But we are sold out, unfortunately. So if you really, really want to come, then just let me know. Then I'll try to do what I can do. But there is a hack to come to clojureD. Sorry, come to Dutch Closure Days. I mean, we're all thinking together, so everything is one now. So our CFP is still open until 28th of February. So even though we don't have any spaces for attendees, we do have spaces for speakers. So please submit your talk and check us out on clojuredays.org. And maybe if anybody has attended Closure Days already in Amsterdam, yeah. So find them and then talk to them how the conference is. It's pretty good. I shouldn't talk too much about how good that is here, because this is an awesome conference. That's why I'm back here again. So I'd love to see you, some of you there. And if you have any interesting topic that you want to talk about, or if this is the first time you want to talk about something, please submit your CFP. We only have like a week left for the CFP. Thank you.
And now please welcome Arne and Martin from the heart of Closure, Belgium.
Thank you, Ingo.
Would you like to?
Okay, I'll do what Vijay did, but I'll switch it around. Who has not yet heard of Heart of Closure? Okay, still quite a few people, so thanks a lot that we have this opportunity. So Heart of Closure is a brand new conference. It's happening this year for the first time in Leuven, Belgium. We picked that spot specifically because it's easily accessible from a lot of places in Europe. So our venue is 5 minutes from the Leuven train station, which is 15 minutes by train from Brussels Airport. And there's train connections to Amsterdam, Paris, London. You can go there by train from Berlin if you like, or there's cheap flights as well. And so the idea is it's going to be a 2-day single-track conference, but with a lot of time as well outside of the talks to socialize. We're going to have activities put on by us, but anyone who attends can also organize their own activities. There's going to be breaks for that. And so, yeah, we really kind of want to get everyone together in the middle of summer to sort of have this community event. Ticket sales are not yet available, but they will start on Monday. And so there's going to be a limited batch of early bird tickets. We're keeping prices low. So the regular tickets are going to be 99 euros. The early birds are going to be 79 euros to try to keep things democratic. We already found a bunch of sponsors that want to support this event, which helps us keep those ticket prices low. But there's still so much more we want to do with this event, and we could really still use some more sponsors. So if you're interested in that, I'll be here all day. Come and talk to us as well. Yeah. And
I'll just say 2 words on the CFP. Our CFP is also still open. It's open a little bit longer than Closure Day CFP, so once you're done with that CFP, you can shift your attention to us. But besides like all the usual closure stuff, I think what we're really interested in with this conference is also like looking a bit outside of closure and maybe getting some people from other communities and having them share their experiences from those communities and on topics that are not necessarily functional programming, but maybe societal issues, maybe climate change, maybe how to work together in teams, that kind of stuff. So if you know anyone who you think would be a good speaker in that regard, please tell them about Heart of Closure. We would really appreciate your support with that. And I think I didn't forget anything. Arne nods, so that's good. That's it from our end. Thank you very much for the attention.
One more thing. There's going to be real lightning talks, which means that during the day there's going to be a whiteboard where there's going to be 10 slots, and you just write your name and the title of your talk, and you can come with it, come up with it the same day if you want to like comment somebody else's talk, or the night before you hack together an amazing thing that you just have to show, and then the last slot of the day is just going to be 5 minutes each of those impromptu talks. That's something that I've really appreciated from a lot of conferences and that I've rarely seen in Clojure conferences. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to organize a conference. So there's going to be lightning talks. Thank you.
So I just learned we did it all wrong. Okay. Please welcome Akshay from Clojure India. Akshay, are you here? Yeah.
Sorry guys, I came in late. Just preparing for my talk. I'm speaking today at 3 p.m. So please look out for it. We've been doing Clojure. I don't know how many folks over here know about Clojure. Raise of hands. No, none of you. Okay, cool. We started this in 2016. We've had 3 editions until now. We've skipped a year in between. We did this year. The colorful rainbow parents logo is this year. We switch back and forth between Pune and Bangalore. That's Pune up top and Bangalore down there. We've been consistently getting 120 people to this conference every year. We're getting 40% people returning every year on year. So it's going really good. It's just a small team. It's a small community of people doing this. It's basically HelpShift and some folks from Nilenso who join in and do this every year. Our Twitter handle is Clojure. If you folks haven't checked it out, I would recommend doing that. It would give a boost to a lot of local speakers in India if you see their talks. Since a lot of stuff that you see from Clojure just gets seen by the folks in India, so it would be great if everyone can see it. We reimburse travel and tickets for invited speakers and international speakers. So please apply. We'll do this next year again in 2020. We do 2 workshops every time. We have an intermediate workshop and a beginner one. That's Sri Hari doing some workshop stuff there. We're going to be doing some accompaniments alongside Clojure this time. So there's going to be Nivedita, who's sitting over there, starting up Clojure Bridge in Bangalore, and Abhik, who's starting something called clojureD, that's Havra Bridge in Calcutta with the Clojure logo up top. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. This is a shot from this year that if you can spot Martin here somewhere. He's in the left corner, bottom left corner, I think. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, thank you.
Guys.
And now, please welcome Mika from clojureD, Finland.
Hello, everybody. So, clojureD, as we call it, or clojureD, whatever goes, as long as we understand each other. It got started in 2012 as this small thing, middle of nowhere. But last year, I believe we had 350 people. So I guess we were the biggest Clojure event in Europe. And we are aiming for the same number of people this year as well. It's late September in Helsinki. 2-day event. First day we have the small functional programming conference. Talks about all kinds of languages like Haskell, Rust, Clojure, Elm. On the second day, it's dedicated to Clojure, the main event. We will have keynotes by Alex Miller and Dave Snowden. And there's a good chance you will get to go to sauna as well. And the ticket sales are not open yet, and the CFP is not open yet either. So if the previously mentioned CFPs are too soon, you will have plenty of time to submit for a clojureD. So I hope to see all of you in Helsinki in September. Thanks.
as a member of the community, I'd like to thank all of you for doing all these fine conferences. Each and every single conference is an inspiration of its own, so please keep doing this. Thank you for joining us on stage today, and please go crazy for Clojure conferences near and far. So we're almost done. Please choose your first talk. If you like to see Robert, Reinforcement Learning Made Simple, just stay here, it's at the gallery. If you like to see how to graph your data, presented by Paula, follow our hosts to the loft. So that's it, have a great conference, hope to see you around, and thank you.